years as an advanced EMT. Zach Wise and Jaden Taunts nominated him, so I'd like to invite them all up.
This is how I get my public speaking in without being a politician. Do you want to say this, or would you like me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Jaden and I had been talking for quite some time, and we decided to nominate Chris. Chris has gone above and beyond to support the crew and lift morale. He is always a listening ear that anyone can lean on. In such a large group of employees that are inevitably conflicting personalities, and Chris is one that no matter who you are, he will listen and support you. He has filled a need that most didn't know we needed to be filled. You can always count on him for, it's good to see you, my friend. Don't even think about buying breakfast, lunch, or dinner when working with Chris. He'll pay the bill before you even know what happened. He's continually learning and passing on knowledge in a positive, constructive way. Working with Chris is always a pleasure and positive experience that grounds you and brings you back to reality. We appreciate Chris and his efforts for Carbon County. One thing I want to highlight is Chris and Dave Varner, that's in the back of the room, are putting themselves through paramedic school right now, her own dime, to better the county, to provide better care. Chris has done amazing things to boost morale for the department, including having challenge coins made that are, actually have 3 of them for you, and I didn't bring them, so sorry. Jaden, would you like to say anything?
I'm good.
Chris? Marty does.
Before he gets to stop talk, I get to, because I'm the one that always sits up here and cries, but I'm not going to. I have about 30 employees that work for us. Justin's not available today because he's at a different training. So he asked Scott and I to step up. But anyway, we have about 28 employees who work for us, and they're all phenomenal, but not any of them take as much second call or pick up the phone and call me as often as Chris does and say, how can I help? He's the first one on scene sometimes, or the ambulance might be the first one on scene, and he's the guy that steps up and says, what do you need? He's not afraid to jump in the back of the rig. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. And I want to say thank you to his wife and kids, because I know how much he leaves to come and help us. And it is phenomenal. So his amount of dedication goes above and beyond. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
I don't have a whole lot to say other than thank you, and I'm happy to be here working with this phenomenal group of people. Thank you.
Chris, thank you.
Clock out, we need a picture.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris, and all you guys.
Should have done that last day.
Those guys do a phenomenal job.
They absolutely do.
They actually gave me a ride last week, so. Yeah, 2 of them did. Thank you, guys. Item 3 is a super service award. Tina's not here.
We'll let Shelley do it, huh?
Right. Officially, I'm Shelley Wright, but I'm also Tina Grange today. And so Tina unfortunately could not be here to give this award out. So I accepted her request to give out the award. So not only am I going to read the recipients of the Super Service Award, but I was actually the one who nominated the recipients. So the recipients of the November Super Service Award goes out to Helen Yates and John Sanchez. John is Helen's son. And I will read to the commission what my nomination said. For the past 11 years, John and his mother, Helen, have dedicated a year's worth of time and money to purchase new backpacks, school supplies, toiletry items, and children's clothes to support our annual back-to-school giveaway. This project of theirs began in 2014 when John had to complete a community service project. His hope was to give back to the community and give children a new start to the school year. John, with the help of his mother, saved up their own money to make this happen. This project started out with backpacks and school supplies, and today they not only provide enough backpacks for 200 plus children, they provide socks, pajamas, slippers, paper towels, toilet paper, and other household essentials. Because of their project, the center had to move the back to school giveaway to the Carbon County Rec Center. We used to have it on the yard of the center. We just didn't have the space to house all of the donations. We are incredibly grateful for their many years of dedication and support they have given the children and families in our community. John and Helen could not be here tonight, so I will be giving out their awards, hopefully in person. So anyway, I just wanted the community to know how amazing John and Helen are.
Thank you, Kellie.
Thank you.
Thank you for nominating them and also for getting those certificates to them. Item 4 is open request for qualifications for social media support. Tina is not here tonight, but we can open those up.
Yeah, we received 10 of them.
I mentioned Tina is not here tonight because they are filming, what's the name of the program?
Ghost hunters?
Ghost Hunters in Hiawatha this evening, and she's been an integral part of helping them out, and so they've invited her to be part of that. She ran to do it, so she's doing a phenomenal job with.
I think to go through all 10 of these would be, as far as to all the numbers, is going to take a considerable amount of time. But maybe I'll just mention who they're from.
I think that's appropriate. Acknowledge what bids we've received, and then we can have somebody review them.
Sounds good. Sometimes it's hard to even find the numbers in these.
Okay.
So this one is from Why We Dream. It's the name of the company. It's like it's Megan Maurer. This one is from Online Optimism. Lynn Zager. This one is from Wide Focus Social Media, Eric Elkins. Thanks. This one is from Q&M. Yep, this says Q&M, Division of American Eagle Co. Inc. This one is from Spark Loft out of Oregon. This one's from Media Now Interactive. Really well put together.
That one's tougher than Seth.
Yeah, that one had a lot of tape on it. This one is from Sinclair Travel, AMP. This one's from Soren Marketing. This one is from Marketing Elevated. And the last one's from Jamie Swank. That was all of them.
Thank you, Seth. So we have 10 proposals presented. Any discussion? Motions?
Discussion.
Nope.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we acknowledge the 10 bids were received and allow Tina, Shani, and appropriate commissioners to review and select the best value for the county.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5 is a presentation from the State of Utah Division of Outdoor Recreation, Wade Allinson. Welcome, Wade.
Thank you for having me. Most of you know me. I spent almost 30 years in this community serving it in a different capacity in law enforcement, and I got a good chuckle from the sheriff there. But anyway, I've left that employment and I work for the Division of Outdoor Recreation. I'm the OHV program manager for the state of Utah. I'm here on 2 hats. I wanted to just briefly talk about well, first let me tell you, just in listening to the volunteers, your EMTs, I've been a member of Search and Rescue in Emery County for over 15 years. And it is the spirit of volunteerism is what makes our community great. This is what separates Carbon and Emery counties from Utah County, Salt Lake County, Weber County, is because of our volunteers. That's what makes our community great. So I just want to let you know I buy off on it. I love it.
Thank you.
The first thing I want to talk about is the division. So I'm going to take off my OHV hat here for a minute. Division Outdoor Recreation has a program called Explore Utah. And I got Tina's, I was hoping to talk to Tina tonight, but she wasn't here, obviously. But I will email her and a little bit about what we're going to talk about here real quick. So what it is, it's supported by the Division of Natural Resources, Outdoor Recreation, State Parks, and the Utah Office of Tourism. And what it involves a series of short promotional videos that the state's willing to help the county out with at no charge. We have great social media people that know how to make great videos. And they actually came to me when this program came out and asked me what I thought. And I volunteered Carbon County for it. Sevier County, Millard County, and San Juan counties. And the goal is to promote OHV areas, but also to promote things within the county to keep people here in Carbon County. So not just go up on the mountain, but go up on the mountain, come back and enjoy the museum here in Price or enjoy the Helper Museum. These are other things we can offer. Go out to the shooting range, go out there and enjoy. So that's what this promotional video is. It's kind of twofold to kind of promote some of the OHVs, but also stay and maybe there's a great hike up this canyon or there's some great mountain bike trails over here on Wood Hill. So that's kind of what it's for. And these guys are willing to help the county at no cost. So if it's okay with you commissioners, I would like to include an email to Tina and the social media folks that work for the Division of Natural Resources. And you can take it from there if it's something you're interested in. I know the other counties have been pretty interested in it. It's free advertising for you. It's free promotional stuff. So anyway,
Sounds good.
I'll take that hat off now.
Okay.
And I'll put on the OHV hat. Back to serving. The clubs are the glue, in my opinion, that keeps everything from coming apart on BLM land and forest lands. It's these clubs that are out there that are volunteering. You have a very unique club here, the Castle Country OHV Club. You've probably seen Jerace Glover. He's very active in it. It's these clubs that are out volunteering and helping solve the problems on public land. In fact, your club here was out on the Devil's Racetrack last month, and they done several hours out there working and volunteering on that trail system. So kudos to the local club you have here. One thing I wanted to touch real quick on, a big deal to the program, is the RS-2477. You guys have heard a lot about that. We are winning that battle in court. We have not lost a single court case this year with RS-2477, which is a big deal to the county because it has given you title to roads that you should have. So there's still some more stuff that needs to come down. There's still some more legal things, but the point is we're winning battles, and it's a big deal to our rural communities. And we're very grateful to have Plipco on our side and those great attorneys. So I wanted to just touch on that. In August, we gave out $1.7 million in grants to support OHV use in our local communities. Most of that money ends up in our rural areas because Salt Lake has 3 miles of OHV trail. You know, Carbon and Emery County, we have several thousand. So it comes to support here. One thing it does support is your search and rescue. I noticed in this last fiscal year, your search and rescue asked for some snowmobiles, and we gave out several thousands of dollars to help your search and rescue team with that. So I just wanted to point out that some of our registration money, when we go register our machine, sometimes it's a little sticker shock by the time you pay the assessments, and then you pay a $35 fee to register that. But your money's being well spent. So I just wanted to point that out. The other thing I wanted to point out is, you know, the OHV community carries a lot. Let's go back to those 2 snowmobiles you guys requested. Having been a member of Search and Rescue, you know, those snow machines will be used to rescue snowmobilers. You got great snowmobiling up here near Schofield, but it also goes to rescue non-motorized people. We just don't put up a sign and say, oh, sorry, this is a non-motorized deal. We can't use this. No, we carry the load. We give out several hundred thousands of dollars a year in grants to search and rescue teams, just like Carbon County. That benefits both the motorized and the non-motorized community. Having applied for several grants for my team over there, I will tell you that those OHV grants, they go to service probably more non-motorized than motorized. So we're carrying the load. We give out grants for trailheads. When we improve a trail, it benefits everybody. When we put a toilet in a trailhead, there's no signs that say if you're not an OHV registered user, you can't use this toilet. Everybody benefits for it. And that's the message I want to leave with you. I know sometimes we get a little bit of a bad rap because we might be a little noisy or whatever, but you know what? We're carrying the load for everybody, and everybody is benefiting from the OHV community. So, and one of the messages I leave, and then I'll open up some time for questions, is join, participate, and donate. Some of you may know my friend Alan Peterson here. Alan has been a mentor of mine for over 2 decades, and he's the one that coined that phrase: join a club, participate with that club, and donate. Those 3 things is what we need to live by in the OHV community. It's just not a matter of joining a club, but you got to participate, because those clubs are out on the trail. They're out solving problems for land managers, because believe it or not, I believe we can solve the problems better than they can. And to donate. It's very important that we donate to land use groups, because there's groups out there that fight against our way of life and our access. but there are groups out there that are fighting for our access, like Blue Ribbon and the Utah Public Lands Alliance. So I always find it interesting that in the OHV world, we can spend thousands of dollars on machines and trailers and toy haulers and diesel trucks, but we can't spend $20 to fight to keep a trail open. So that's the message I want to leave with you. I don't want to take up a whole lot of more time, but I'd like to, if you guys have any questions for me, I'm here as a program manager to support you in any way I can. I'm here to help you with grants. I'm here, I just noticed it's not an OHV grant, but it is part of the Division of Natural Resources. One just was granted to the king crawlers for over $90,000 to do a NEPA in, is it Pinnacle Wash, Scott? Is that the wash that there? There's several washes, and this is a big deal. This is $90,000 that a nonprofit group in your community got, and you guys didn't even have to apply for it. I think it was $91,000 to go pay for an assessment so the BLM can look at it and say, yeah, there's no big concerns here, let's open it up. So that's huge. It's nice to see those guys apply for that money, because if you don't get it here, it's going to go to another county. And I just soon see it stay right here in Carbon and Emery County. So anyway, do you have any? Yes.
They don't have to match anything.
Yeah.
It's total. I shouldn't say free, but there's no match to it.
No match. So it's just flat out cash. Here you go. That same grant can be used to buy ground. I've seen several communities like this use that money to buy ground to do playgrounds and parks. So there's a lot of money there. So anyway, do you have any questions for me?
Thank you.
You're gonna let me off? No hard questions, Larry.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
can't
I'm here to
think of any.
support you. I'm just down the road. I live 39 miles from here. So if I can be of any help to the commission at any time, please let me know.
Well, thank you, and thank you for reaching out to Tina.
You're welcome.
That'll be helpful for her.
I'll shoot her an email tomorrow afternoon when I get to the office.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 6 is appoint a member of the Carbon County Commission as a board member of the Carbon Emery Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. This is a committee that Commissioner Hopes was on, and it's no longer here. So I think Jared should do it.
I'll second that motion.
I will step down and make that motion that we appoint Jared Commissioner
And I'll second.
Haddock. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Jared. He's already been helping there.
Yeah, happy to.
Item 7 is consideration and possible approval of easement number 3 with the Utah School and Trust and Institutional Trust Lands Administration. So, Commissioners, this is an easement that was secured a number of years ago. This is a one-time renewal of fees, and it's for road sections of the Ridge Road and also 2 sections of the roads that go south off of Ridge Road into Miller Creek. And so there's a number of sections of the road that go through Sitla property where we have an easement. And this is a total cost of $10,020, and it's for a 30-year extension on that, the easement that we currently have there. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
Maybe just one explanation. So the state institutional trust lands, that's commonly known as SITLA, is the state agency that is tasked with managing lands that were given to the state of Utah by the federal government when the state was created. And they're tasked with taking all of those properties and doing everything they can to infuse money into the schools. So they gather this money here would probably go into the money that's collected, and they actually, I think the only money they'll allow to be spent out of this is the interest off of all the money they collect. West of Price, here in Carbon County, there's a very large area that is owned by Sitla, and many of the coal bed methane gas wells are on those properties, and so the mineral money that comes in from those goes to Sitla and into the school trust fund. So
Great. I'll make a motion that we approve the easement number 3 with the Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration.
And I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8 is authorization of the Carbon County Assessor's Office to select a certified commercial appraiser to appraise the commercial properties in Carbon County. This was an agenda item in our last meeting. We ended up not receiving any bids, or not bids, but proposals in that process. So the assessor's office will need to find somebody. So I'll entertain a motion.
Well, and aren't they going to bring that to this board?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we authorize the Carbon County Assessor's Office to select a certified commercial appraiser to appraise the commercial properties in Carbon County.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 9 is adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Carbon County Board of Equalization.
We'll make a motion that we adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners and convene as the Carbon County Board of Equalization.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10 is consideration and possible approval of the assessor's initiated adjustments. Kevin, you made it back.
Made it back. Yeah, we were out on the road all day. So we have, I don't know, about 115 appeals that we've either stipulated or agreed to that have been presented to you. I don't see any, unless there are any questions on those. Be happy to entertain any of those.
Yeah, are there any questions for Kevin?
Not so much for what's here in hand, but how close is the end? How many more do you have?
Not as close as I want it. As of this morning, we were still 204 away from being fully completed. 41 of those are scheduled for hearings next week. I think it was 41. When I prepared the numbers last night, that's what it was. And we have an additional 60 that are ready for hearings. So we have to set up some additional hearing days to do those. And then we have about 100 left that we're still reviewing. We went out and inspected 12 of those today. So anyway, so there's about 100 left, but 200 total until it's all wrapped up.
I want to thank you, Kevin and Amy and your whole team for putting this together. I know we've actually worked together with these. These aren't just popped across our desk, but we actually work on these throughout the last few weeks, and we review them, and you bring concerns to us before, so there's no surprises. I just think it's important that we understand that these aren't just a blank sheet of paper that we're agreeing to here.
And the intent is not to have surprises. If we have surprises here, I'm not doing my job. So I did want to bring up 2 other items. We have the Price River Terminal that we need to, a little bit of background. In 2021, 2022, and 2023, we double taxed. It should look something like this. Okay. We double tax these individuals. We taxed them for personal property, and then we taxed them again the same amount for real property. And in these years, they should have been billed separately, but we billed them all together, and they paid the real property tax, but they haven't paid the personal property tax because it was a double taxation. So I would recommend that we write off the amount of $724,795.06, which has not been paid, but which is the double tax. And then in 2024 and 2025, we're working on both those years to make sure it's correct. we have an appeal for 25, and 2024 there was an escape property. And trying to get this correct, we just didn't tax them in 24. So working on getting that corrected and 2025's corrected. So, and then the other item is there are several parcels up in the Schofield area of Schofield Estates that should have been on Greenbelt in 2022. Didn't make it to Greenbelt. It was agreed that they should be in Greenbelt, but no adjustments were ever made. So I'd just like to approve the adjustments with the Greenbelt values now being entered. And with your approval, I'll send a letter to the treasurer to make those adjustments.
Any questions for Keven?
Have we stipulated on the value of the property for Price River Terminal?
Not for 2025.
Okay.
They disagree with our values, so they're going to go to a hearing.
So what we're
That's-
approving today is the waiving of the fees where they were double taxed.
Yes, for the years of 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Great.
Nothing for 24 or 25 is in the discussion for today.
Great. I'll make a motion that we approve of the assessor initiated adjustments.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Keven.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Item 11 is adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Equalization and reconvene as the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn as the Carbon County Board of Equalization and reconvene as the Carbon County Board of Commission.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 12 is a presentation of Carbon County 2026 tentative budget. Seth, you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, well, this is the process that we go through each year when preparing and eventually approving our budget for the next year. By state code, we're required to present the budget in a commission meeting, and then within the next 2 or so commission meetings, we'll have a public hearing and an approval. So this is the tentative budget. This is what's being proposed. There is provision in the code to make adjustments between this presentation of the tentative budget and the finalizing of the final budget. Just for simplicity, I'll read each fund that we use as part of our accounting and the budget for each fund, and then maybe just mention a couple of key changes that we have this upcoming year, 2026, compared to 2025, just so everyone's aware. Part of the code, though, we're required to have the budget available for inspection in our office, in the clerk's office. So that'll be available starting tomorrow in our office, and we definitely encourage anybody from the public that has questions or would like to inspect the budget to do so. We're happy to, and hopefully receive input and want to make sure everyone's aware and that there's plenty of clarity about what the budget is for everyone's sake. So we'll start with the general fund. The general fund is our largest fund as far as dollar amount, but it houses all of our or most of our departments that are for just the general operations of the county government. The proposed budget for 2026 is $19,090,950. Moving on to the municipal services fund is our second largest fund, and it has all of our departments that has to do with services that would normally be provided by a municipality if the resident lived within a city or a municipality, municipal boundaries. So that would include like the sheriff's department, the road department, search and rescue, building department, and a few others. The budget for the tentative budget or proposed budget for the municipal services fund is $9,627,300. I will mention that both of those proposed budgets for 26 are lower than our current 2025 budget. Moving on to our municipal building authority fund. This is the fund that we use to track and account for any expenses having to do with bonds for constructing new buildings or other projects like roads, and then the service of those bonds. The proposed budget for 2026 is $1,939,000. We'll move on to our enterprise fund. Our enterprise fund is our one non-governmental fund. It includes our 7th District Court building, and the money that's brought into that fund is due to the rent that we receive off of the 7th District Court building, and then that money is used to pay the bond payments on that building. So the amount in budget in that fund generally from year to year remains the same, because they're the same rents we receive and essentially the same expenses that we have. So it's $900,000 is the proposed budget for the enterprise fund. Next is our capital projects fund. We don't have a lot of capital projects that we're doing next year. The main things that we do out of this are improvements to our radio towers. There's a proposed budget of $15,000. Next is our airport fund. Our proposed budget is $2,169,500. And this one's quite a bit larger than our previous year. We have a project going on out of the airport for next year, which is a fire suppression, installation of a fire suppression system for the airport that's definitely needed out there. Moving on to our senior center fund, the proposed budget is $310,100. And then our senior citizen nutrition program, we have a separate fund for that, and the budget or proposed budget is $846,900. Moving on to the event center fund, the proposed budget is $883,400. And then on to our carbon rec fund. The proposed budget is $653,950. Next is our tourism fund, which is Tina's budget for all the tourism related and advertising that she does. For $902,000 is the proposed budget for that fund. Our economic development fund, $290,000 is the proposed budget. We then finally our last two, we have a 911 emergency fund, which is for helping with our 911 emergency dispatch. Generally, we just have some small expenses each year with licensing, and that budget is $4,000. And then our Carbon County redevelopment fund, which has our CRAs and our RDAs, which are just redevelopment areas. And the budget there is $1,300,000. That's the money that we're bringing in between our two active CRAs as increment, and then we expense those back out. So those are the different funds that we have. The proposed budgets, as I mentioned earlier, our budget for 2026 is at least the proposed budget will be less than our current budget for 2025.
That looks pretty significantly less.
Currently operating under. Yeah, it comes out to about $1 million is the decrease between what we're proposing and what our current budget is. We generally will have budget amendments throughout the year, so there's likely that'll be a little bit higher before the end of 2026. But just so everyone's aware. And then just some key changes. You may have some others that you'd like to mention as a commission, but the ones that I have is that there's a proposal for a 3.5% COLA for every county employee, including elected officials. That's something that we've tried to do just to keep up with inflation. I believe we're between 3 and 3.5% in inflation this year. The other two that I had, one I already mentioned was the water suppression at the airport. I believe, and Larry, you could correct me, but I believe it was around $2 million for that project.
That's correct.
So, The other one I had was just that the big decrease, or one of the other big decreases that we hadn't mentioned yet from our 2025 budget, is that we had a large project out at the airport for another hangar and an expansion out there for USU. And so that's something that won't be in 2026 budget that was in our 2025 budget. But those were the three main changes that I had. If you had any others you'd like to mention, but that's all the information I had. Again, the full budget, line by line, will be available for inspection in our office starting tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you, Seth. Do you have any questions for Seth? Additional comments?
I don't. I appreciate Seth and his office kind of being the shepherd, if you will, kind of overseeing these accounts and making sure that each department is not over and staying within budget. So it has been a team effort. And one of the other things I'd like to mention too is our insurance premiums. Just by our staff kind of watching themselves, taking care of themselves, the insurance premium did not go up. So just want to say kudos to those guys.
Yeah, I had as a number 4 of my key changes year over year, but I erased it this afternoon because it's not really a key change. It's no change, so there's no increase, which is pretty amazing for a governmental entity, especially one of our size. I think when we met with our insurance agent, he said that he's seeing increases of 20 to 25% as a norm this year. So for us to have a 0 increase in our renewal for health insurance is a big deal. That's a big part of our expense. So we're grateful, like you said, to the employees, because that's a big part of that has to do with them being careful about how they're using their insurance. We appreciate it. So
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, so do we need an approval with this item? It's really not the way the agenda reads, but
no, we just, the way the code reads, we just present it now and then we'll do a public hearing. We'll advertise a public hearing and do a public hearing, either next commission meeting or the one after that. So
okay. And maybe just a last thank you to Seth, and your team that took care of the elections yesterday, and that's been going on for several weeks. It's a lot of work on your part, and you have to do that as well as all the other day-to-day things that come in. So you guys are really been overworked. So just thank you, especially you and Lori. Okay, motion to adjourn. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. Thank you for coming tonight.